Hello, I am Dav Flamrock, as you may have already discerned, and I am a grad student at Miskatonic University in Arkham, Massachusetts. I am currently doing research on myths, especially the Slender Man myth, which is how I got into all this business. I apologize right now for the hoarseness in my voice, which you may or may not detect, and if I cough at any point during this video, because unfortunately I'm getting over a cold. You may also be aware of Just Another Fool, the blog that Logan set up just before receiving the notebook of his late friend Matthew Selby. As you may also know, Logan has gone missing, and his friend Joshua has received the notebook and since sent it to me, which is the purpose of this video, to open it and examine the notebook. So as you can see, I have excised the important data, where I live, where Joshua lives, important details to our identities that we would rather not be available on the internet. On the back of the package is, as you can see, 4 streaks of graphite. Presumably this was Joshua's doing. Hopefully, he's alright. Because as you can see, it looks like someone with graphite on their fingers ran their hand down the back. And now I shall open the package and we'll take a look at what is inside. It's in my hands now. Let's cut it. I seem to have made a cut when I open it. It's not that important, although there is something scratched on the cover. It's hard to see in this light. I'll see if I can reflect the light properly. But as you can see, there is something. There you go. That gives you a faint idea. I'll get a better picture up after this video is made. It says "we" and has what looks like eyes drawn, or cut rather, down here. And there it says "we." The rest looks pretty... doesn't look like it has any particular meaning or design to it, although it might say "we" again up here, messily. As you may remember, those who know the story, these are the tally marks of Matthew's, I believe it was weeks, that he was on tour in Iraq before the unfortunate events involving the Slender Man. So, there's something on the back. It's green. It looks like it was drawn rather than cut, but what it is rather difficult to discern. Here's the first page. Looks like something was added to it since Logan took the pictures. It says "why?" Why? A lot. Can you see him? Obviously. This is rather unfortunate. I don't know what these tally marks mean yet, anyway. As a reward, the knowledge. This is familiar. Logan posted that on the blog the other day. My last will and testament is to see this notebook returned to my friend Logan. And then there's an address which has been crossed out, and it says "why?" By it appears it appears the pen is Logan's hand. For I know this wasn't all on here, obviously, when he received it. Now, more familiar, here's the Slender Man drawing. There's a T that's been scratched into it. It may or may not have any meaning. Logan wrote something down here. It's hard to make out in pen. I'll take a look at it after the video. This obviously has seen some wear. If you can't tell, the binding is coming off. This is probably just because of everything that it's been through. Iraq and now whatever happened to Logan. Second encounter, July 3rd. That's interesting, and that's also new. Here is the second page. For those who have been following, of course, the familiar image of the penciled tree. Although it looks like much that Matt drew has been drawn over by Logan. There's the dead figures in the trees, which are easily discernible now that they've been gone over in red. I don't recall what that is, but perhaps it's already been identified. If not, we shall do so. July 3rd, second encounter. The date seems important. Here's the back of the last page. It's just the indentations of the pen, mostly, and the pencil. And here's the next page. It looks like an egg of some kind in a tree. The pen again is Logan. I'll have to look at this further to identify better what the red is, or is supposed to signify. There's Slender Man's tie. Contact has been written in the corner in red. And on this page, probably the most interesting thing yet, is the date June 25th. And it says obsession. Obviously, Logan and Matt and Logan before him were obsessed with Slender Man, which is, expected. Now it becomes red. No. Here Logan, presumably because Matthew used pencil, presumably this red ink is Logan, and he's written something I can't discern completely. Shivers. The ash is it steady. The ash as it steady. Although that seems wrong. As it stands. That's what it means to say. The ash as it stands. There's Matthew's penciled square with what looks like a tree growing out of it. The old tree grows as the giant slips free. And what looks like an arrow, perhaps it is continued on the next page, which it isn't. When he comes, try as I might, something my soul cannot take flight. Might be ear, but I don't imagine him using that language. Here's the what it is. Then the next page, why the wing? He was... this wing seems to have been drawn by Logan rather than Matthew. So I'm not sure why he is asking the question. I know, obviously, if Matthew drew it, then it would have been something that he was examining, but that doesn't seem to be the case. There's something, it looks like bones. It is drawn in pencil, which means that it was Matthew's work. And here again, does he intrude in our world? A white figure in darkness, presumably the Slender Man. And here's Roman numerals 8. Does he intrude in our world? June 22nd, contact, up here. And there's this symbol, or figure, or whatever it is. There's, if my research, which I have been doing for quite some time, is anything to go by, this is Slender Man. I don't know why there's that black ink mark that Logan has drawn in. Presumably, well, not presumably, but it looks like it could be a wing. The rest of this is Slender Man's arms as they are reaching out towards the viewer. If you're unfamiliar with the Slender Man myth, basically Slender Man is a shapeshifter who usually takes on the form of a tall, thin human man in a black suit with no face, and he can stretch his body to any proportion. So often he lengthens his arms for dramatic effect or to ensnare prey.